everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going over a new documentary about the Manley Trams, which have just recently entered service. Welcome to Regent Street. This was the first ever station made on the tram link. It was also one which was finishing off for the Regent line. This was recently rebuilt, but we're not going to be going over that, as that's another line. The station here is of modern design, and what's kind of funny is you actually cannot see the station from anywhere else. So it's completely covered up by other buildings, meaning you can't really tell it's there. But if you weave around the corner, you will simply find yourself inside of the station. The trams used are CAF Urbos 3. These replaced the T69s many years ago. The tram network is actually pretty big and consists of two different lines, although one is actually pretty small. How about we go and have a look about where it's actually going to serve and what this is going to do. Here is our usual map of Manley, everyone. Here's with all the current existing lines. As you can see, all of the metro lines are done, and all I have to do now is add the national rail and tram lines. Now this is it with the tram. As you can see, the tram serves just the west. It does serve a little bit of the centre, especially towards the northwest, and it does serve a little bit of the southwest as well, such as like places like Marketworth, as you can see. But of course, that means it's just focused in the west. Overall, this is actually a pretty good system. It serves the entire of the west, which, to be fair, didn't really have much of the service before. It had a few stations, but no real connections, mostly just made up of the city line. But now it has this, which is actually going to give it a nice big boost. Here is a map which shows all of the stations that it serves. As you can see, the two different lines meet at places like Crondle Central and Park Holt. The smaller line goes between Park Holt and Marketworth and serves as a shuttle. You could just in theory take the King's line, but it is actually quicker to take the tram. It has better interchanging. As you can see, it also interchanges at Manley Victoria, which was long actually abandoned but has recently come back to life, and then also interchanges at Regent Street with the Regent line. Also to mention, it has a one-way stop at Stone Horses and another one-way stop at Dalston Way. Here's our tram here, and we're going to hop on and take this to our first stop. As we leave Regent Street, we actually go underground. This is one of 3 tunnels in the whole system. Then it's a short straight line until we come into Manley Victoria. Now, Manley Victoria is a bit of a maze, probably because it has 2 entrances, but it's also just kind of difficult to get to the other platform, and everything kind of overlaps and joins on. Besides, we have 2 different passageways here, which can be confusing at times. This leads up to the Victoria Court exit, which is one of the exits. However, you cannot actually access the other platform for this exit. You have to take this entrance/exit down to this platform and then go down this way. This passageway, as I've just explained, goes down underneath all the tram tracks, weaves back up and connects with the other tram platform. As you can see, there's some trams here. The platforms are pretty spacious and are quite modern actually. Very nice. It's inspired off of Manchester Piccadilly Station on the Manchester Metrolink in real life, with a little bit of twist for my own style. What is useful though is this is actually all signed, so that's nice. If you follow up here to the Metro concourse, you join us at the second entrance, which is just here. This, of course, has the 2 tram-link ticket machines, and also comes out in this nice area here. This is the tram branding. It's got quite a nice T design, but this is in the main concourse area, which connects to all the staircases leading up into the main station, around over to the main road, and also down into the concourse where you can head down and get your metro trains. This area, as you can see, is actually pretty action-packed. It's filled with signs and everything, so really immersive and really cool. Do not forget, we also have a snack bar here. This is also just by the Victoria Court exit as well, so they're not that far apart. Here's the Victoria Court exit just here. It's built inside this nice historic building, which used to serve as a big shop, but now it's just this fairly small entrance, although it does have 1 more ticket machine than the other entrance. No ticket barriers though. The next stop on our line is Kingston Way, where the trams come out of this building and weave into the island platform, just next to the Stone Horses Hotel. It's really not that far from Victoria, which you can actually just see if you walk down the road, just over there. This station, however, is actually remarkably close to Aylesmore Station just here, so if you need to connect to the tram by there, you can do a simple walk from there. It also serves the main road just here, which has a bus stop as well, and it also serves the big newsagents. But now we need to hop back on our tram and take it to our next stop. And we have just missed the tram. Now, I should say there is a very frequent service. There's usually up to about a 30-second wait maximum, but as soon as one tram leaves, another one is destined to pull in less than 5 seconds. As you can see, here's the next one coming out of the building just now. We're going to take this to our next stop. As you can see, this tram stop is pretty surrounded by buildings. it's very nice and actual urban over here, with a lot of historic architecture. Now we come into one of our one-way stops. This is Stone Horses Station. Here at Stone Horses, you are provided with a quick and easy interchange to the City Line, just here. As I mentioned, the stop is one way, so you cannot actually get trams from, say, that direction heading this way. You can only get trams from this direction. So, yeah, if you're planning on going from this direction, you are kind of screwed. But you can just use the Dalston Way station just here, which is also very nice and close. They kind of serve as one station, but they're also kind of different. Docklands area over here kind of serves as a bit of a mega spot for trams. It goes right by the coast and does this big weaving thing where it kind of surrounds you at all times. The next stop is Riverside. This is a two-way station, thank goodness. It's positioned right next to Tamarcart and also right next to the big crane. It's also just across the road from Dockside Station, giving you another interchange. But now we should hop back on our tram and take it to our next stop. We go across the river and we are on the southwest part of the city. Here we are now at the narrowest platform in Manley. This is King Richard Road Station, which is in a completely action-packed area. This place is filled to the brim with stations, shops, and pretty much everything you can imagine. Welcome to the Ivermouth and Crondle area. Over here, as you can see, you have the seaside resort of Ivermouth, which has its lovely beach and wheel. And just over here, you have an arcade, which gives you 2 games to play from. There's also the famous Viaduct Pizza brand, which has its best Viaduct-style pizzas. It's also right next to Crondle Station for this entrance, which is kind of ironic considering there's another station called Crondle Central on the tram line, but forget about that. You also have a perfect link to Yeat's beautiful newsagents. Just look at this place. And of course, you have the railway viaduct. But now we're going to hop back on our tram and take it to our next stop. At this point, the tram takes a massive sharp left and goes through the rather dangerous tunnel, which goes right underneath the main line. Then it takes a left and comes into the massive Crondle Central station. Now this is actually built directly underneath Crondle Central station on the main line, and as you can see, it's pretty big. It is also a bit of a death trap at times because it's got these kind of safe crossing barriers. Now this just gives you lights to show you when or when not to cross, so it's pretty safe at times, but as you can see, it's a bit manic over there. The tram stop acts as a massive interchange. It's actually really big and is a perfect place to interchange with. You've got 3 tram lines all at once here, and once again, pretty cool. As you can see, trams are coming in from almost every angle at a time. Almost insane, but as I said, it's safe. You've got your lights. The entrance is just here, and it's positioned in Crondle Central Square, which is pretty actually. It's got a nice coffee bar, and is also quite close to the Marketworth Transport Museum. But that's next. This station pretty much never is empty, so if it is, that's a pretty lucky shot you've got there. But now, we're going to take the shuttle, which is just arriving now. The tram simply departs, turns left, and then comes out on the right into the rather hidden Marketworth tram stop. It's one of the original stations designed from 2000 when the tram first came into operation. It's pretty nice and not many people use it, but it does come in handy sometimes. What I like most about it is this little doorway which leads into the main station though. Really nice. Once again, this is built in with a level crossing. And finally, we're here at Parkholt, which I would say is the mega station for the trams. It's got 3 platforms, it's above ground, there's a tangling mess of wires. In fact, there are some places where it is actually in 4 tracks, forming this little tram main line. Absolutely manic. It's also hidden right next to the big main line just here, all the massive trains are all over. Really nice, and it also has connections to the King's Line, as you may have seen in one of the previous videos. What is the nicest thing about this station, however, is that it actually preserved its 1930s Art Deco style entrance, back when the tram was first ever made. As a brief history for the tram, it actually came into service in the late 1890s, around the time when the metro was just starting. It also then expanded in the 30s, including this station just here. It's a really pretty station, and I definitely recommend coming here. Sadly, one of the shelters was demolished and replaced with this slightly uglier one from the early 2000s when the tram was rebooted. This also makes of a massive mess of a level crossing, which as you can see here, it's got 3 tracks. Absolutely insane. This is the furthest central point that the tram goes, and then it goes underground again before it comes into Regent Street. Here on the final stretch of the tram, we go through a slightly passage of turns, before coming back up into Regent Street, the station we all know and love. And that is the tram system. And there you have it, folks. That is the Manley tram system. Pretty big, pretty useful, and actually really nice. Hope to be using it in streams in the future. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.